welcome back to my channel. I'm Comfortable and this is Just Too Comfy. If you're new on this channel, you're highly welcome. Do well to hit the subscribe button and the post notification bell. In that way you get to know when I post a new video. If this is your first time coming across this channel, or this is the first time you're seeing this face, please now, what did I do to you now? Did that offend you? Please subscribe, hit the post notification bell so that you always get notified when I post a new video. So yeah, today I'm coming up with a very fantastic topic. I guess you've already seen it on the title. So today's topic is very fantastic. As we all know, today is Valentine's Day, so everybody is celebrating Valentine and all. So I keep asking myself questions like, if I go up to the street and I ask people on the street, what is Valentine, what are we really celebrating, what's Valentine all about, I know I'm going to be getting funny reactions like, Valentine it's romance. Like, when once you say Valentine, the first thing that comes to somebody's mind is romance, love, box of chocolate, cakes. Nowadays we now include cakes, flowers and all, you know. Everybody will just be telling you that, and the next thing is red and white. Come on, red and white, you know. That's what everybody's going to be telling you about Valentine. So actually today I actually wanted to know more about Valentine, and I did a little research on the history of Valentine, and I came up with this video. So I'm just going to be sharing with you what I got from my research, and yeah, let's get started. So if this is actually the content you would love to hear or you would love to watch, please do also watch to the end, and I promise you're really going to enjoy it. So let's get started. Guys, I actually did a research on what Valentine is all about, and actually noticed that February 14th was a day that was set aside by the Romans to celebrate their god of fertility. So the celebration was called Lupercalia. This was a day that the Romans set aside to celebrate their god of fertility. How did they do this? They will first of all start with sacrificing animals, and these animals were animals that were sexually active. So they were sacrificing animals that were sexually active to appease their god of fertility. So after sacrificing this animal, this is always like a symbol, like telling their god of fertility to help them to be more fruitful in the coming year. So after sacrificing these animals that are sexually active, they get the skin of this animal and use it to flog women, because you know women are the ones that are fruitful per se, like they carry the children and what. So they were using the skin of the animals to flog the women, and this was like, it was a symbol of fertility for them. Then after the whole ritual of killing the sexually active animal, the next thing they went ahead to do was that the men were always writing the names of females into a big bowl or a basket or whatever, but something big that can contain the names of the females in a piece of paper. They will put it there, and they will take turns in picking the piece of papers. Then when they open it, any name they see, that was just like a day of open ceremony. I don't know if it's called a ceremony or celebration, anyone, but it was a day of open ceremony of sexual immorality. So that day was a day that you were free. When once the men pick the name, any name of the female they pick, they have sexual immorality with that person openly, and it was a normal thing because they were trying to appease their god of fertility. So that was what the Romans were doing on February 14th. So now fast forward to when Saint Valentine came into the picture, and mind you, when the Romans were doing this, the Romans had not yet accepted Christianity. So when the Romans were trying to adjust to Christianity in the 3rd century, that was when Saint Valentine came into play. And Saint Valentine happened to be the priest of the Catholic Church. So when the Romans were trying to adapt to Christianity, the Roman Empire had issues with their soldiers going to war, because they noticed that most of them in going to war, they always tend to think back and remember their family, their loved ones, and they will not be able to function actively in war. So they brought up this rule. They banned marriages because they wanted their men to concentrate in war. So they banned marriages. They did not allow marriages so that men will be recruited into war. So this was a no-no for Saint Valentine. So Saint Valentine was like, no, he doesn't buy this idea of banning marriages, because he was not of the opinion of sexual immorality outside marriage. His own opinion was get married and consummate your sexual feelings in marriage, not outside marriage. So that was what Saint Valentine stood for. And during the period of this ban, he was still wedding couples that came to him. He was secretly wedding them in marriage, like they were going into marriage. He was secretly wedding them and telling them to go consummate their sexual urge in their marriages, not sexual immorality outside marriage. So this got to the Roman Empire and he was arrested. So when he was arrested, he was kept on detention. He was in the prison. So here now, some scholars, or let me just say some school of thought said, which I don't really know which one is true, but I'm just going to tell you the two different school of thought I encountered during my research. So one of the school of thought said that when he was in the prison, the jailer's daughter was blind, and since he was standing for Christianity, the jailer's daughter was telling him to prove it by healing his daughter of the blindness. So he brought the daughter, and Saint Valentine prayed for the daughter, and she was healed. And they said he fell in love with the daughter, which I am not sure of, I don't really know, but they said he fell in love with the daughter, and that was why the night before his execution, he wrote a letter to this blind girl, and he wrote down there, "From your Valentine." While another school of thought said the night before his execution, he wrote a letter and wrote down there, "From your Valentine," that he was referring to the newly wedded couples. So these two school of thoughts, I don't really know which one is true, but the fact was that he was apprehended and left in the prison, and the day before his execution, he left a note, and down below the letter, he wrote, "From your Valentine." So now, after the day he was actually executed was February 14th. So he was executed on February 14th. That was the day. Okay, this is now the day that we now call Valentine's Day. So he was actually beheaded on February 14th. So after his execution, years later, the Roman Catholic now decided that this day, February 14th, should be set aside to mourn Saint Valentine. Now, I don't know if now you can get something from it. February 14th was a day that the Romans already set aside to celebrate their god of fertility. And now Saint Valentine was beheaded on February 14th. And this day by the Roman Catholic Church was now set aside to be remembering Saint Valentine. Now, let's now bring it down to the 21st century that me and you now, we are inside. So now, February 14th now, in the 21st century, is a day that you see a lot of things happening. Take for instance, now we keep a camera, like we place cameras everywhere in the world, and we have a control unit in one point, and you just sit down on that control unit and see what is happening on February 14th. You notice that February 14th is a day of, I don't know to say, the highest rate of sexual immorality happens. Okay, in my own opinion, I feel if we are celebrating Valentine, like we're celebrating Saint Valentine that the Catholic Church brought aside, that they should be remembering him, I feel couples that want to celebrate Valentine should just call, maybe this year, you want to celebrate Valentine this year, you just fix your wedding. Like young people that are yet to get married will fix their wedding on February 14th to mark Saint Valentine's Day, if that is what they really want. Because if you check very well, Saint Valentine stood against sexual immorality before marriage. His own was that you should get married, then consummate everything you want in marriage. So if you feel, okay, this day I want to remember him, I feel the way you remember him is by getting married, making your wedding on February 14th. But the reverse is the case. We now notice that what used to happen during the Roman Empire, that we now claim we are not celebrating the god of fertility that the Romans were doing, but rather we're celebrating Valentine, that's we're remembering Saint Valentine's Day. You now know that what happened during the era of the Roman Empire is what is now happening in our modern day Valentine. Because everybody now, that day is a day you will see the highest number of rape cases, highest number of immorality, people that never even had any sexual activity before, they go into it on that day, February 14th, in the disguise of celebrating Valentine. So this is me coming up today to tell you the history of Valentine, because I feel maybe some of us don't really know what February 14th stands for, what this day, Valentine Day, stands for, and what Saint Valentine actually did, what he stood for, and what we are currently claiming we are celebrating now. So that's why I just brought it up for you should think again, so you really know the one you're celebrating. If actually you're celebrating what the romance we're celebrating in disguise, you don't really know, because most of us to celebrate things we don't even know the origin. So that was why I brought up this topic. And if you love somebody, it must not necessarily be on Valentine's Day you prove to the person you love the person. If you love somebody, love the person every single day of your life, not necessarily on Valentine's Day only. You know that Valentine's Day is the only day you give gifts, you do this one. Give gifts to your loved ones. Let love reign among us. Even the Bible tells us that love is the greatest, you know. So let love reign among us. Let us not just keep love for only February 14th, and that's when you now be seeing immorality up and down. See, love is not necessarily romance. Like, love is not necessarily you must be intimate, you must be, if you want to go intimate, do it in marriage. Do it in marriage. I feel it's better in marriage to be so intimate in marriage, but not February 14. Like today now, you're going to see that a lot of people, there will be a lot of casualties, a lot of deaths. People are dying in the name, I'm celebrating St. Valentine's, which you don't even know anything about. So this is me coming up with this video to tell you, if you love somebody, love the person every single day, every single opportunity you have, not necessarily on February 14th that is claimed to be St. Valentine's Day. So yeah, this is just me coming up to tell you a brief history about Valentine and the origin of the celebration. And yeah, I'm going to be wrapping up this video here. I don't intend to make it too long. I researched deep on this topic, and I have a lot of things to talk about this topic, even from the flowers, like the gifts, the hats, the piercing hats, and all. I've actually researched a lot about this topic, but I just decided to draw the curtain here because I don't intend making this video too long. So that was me coming out to tell you a brief history about Valentine, and you should check again and know what actually you're celebrating. Yeah, so if actually you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. You guys now, be cool now. I should beg you people, please now, subscribe to my channel. It's not do you know, I beg. Subscribe to my channel, hit the post notification bell. In that way you always get notified when I post a new video. Stay tuned for another interesting topic. I'm coming up again with another interesting topic. Look forward to that topic. See you guys in my next video. Bye. Guys, I'm a Bono Woki person. So anyways, subscribe to my channel. I just had to take that water. You guys saw I was already choking. Oh my god, it's not easy to talk. I was already choking. But anyways, if you love content like this, see guys, I'm so sorry, I've not always been consistent these days. Consistent English language. So guys, I've not actually been consistent these days, but I promise I'm going to be consistent very soon. And I'm going to tell you people why I was not able to be consistent all this while. So anyways, I cannot show you. Guys, see you guys in my next video. Bye.